Welcome to the Weather Guru podcast for June 19th, 2025. We're going to be looking at first the hurricane and that's in the Pacific Basin, and then we're going to get into the local hazards for the lower 48 states here as we approach the first day of summer here in the Northern Hemisphere in about 2 days. Right now, you're looking at a satellite imagery courtesy of tropicaltidbits.com of Hurricane Erik here, and this is from National Weather Service. Hurricane Erik is a storm that's approaching the western Mexico coastline, and it's producing winds above 125 miles an hour. This is a Category 3 on the Saffir-Simpson scale. It is forecast to make landfall sometime tonight, Thursday night, local time in Mexico. And this is a very formidable system. This is the first major hurricane, or first major hurricane of the season in the Eastern Pacific Basin here. Look at the GPS and the ensemble models. It's going to take it right across the mountains of middle of Mexico there. The storm is forecast to weaken very quickly. Probably by the end of Friday, it'll be down to tropical storm strength or less as it traverses the heavy mountains of Mexico. But that initial inland push is going to bring a lot of storm surge and rain and wind and damages to that lower Mexico coastline, the states of Oaxaca and just to the north of there. They're going to be experiencing those extreme conditions there. Maximum sustained winds right now, 125 miles an hour. Movement northwest at 9 miles an hour. So it's moving slowly, but it will accelerate once it gets inland. But it is moving at a moderate to slow pace here, as you can see here. And that's going to produce those flooding rains and possibly mountainous mudslides as it gets further inland. Tropical storm force winds extend out pretty far from the center, as you can see here, at least 180 miles from the center. And those dangerous hurricane force winds are there in the middle in red there, as you can see. And there's going to be some heavy winds here. It's possible that Hurricane Erik can strengthen just a little bit more before making landfall. Obviously, this is the latest advisory as of 6 a.m. Central Standard Time. And so we have our thoughts and prayers for those along the Mexican coastline as they're going to experience the first major hurricane of the Eastern Pacific Basin here. And that will be Hurricane Erik. So, coming back home to the lower 48 United States, ladies and gentlemen, we have a bunch of dry air here and orange here. As you can see, from San Diego to Tucson to Phoenix, over toward Texas, El Paso, back in the DFW area, all the way back up through the Central Plains and back up to the southeast here. We have just this plume of moisture here that's producing showers from Memphis to Little Rock, Greenville, Mississippi, back over to Tupelo, Huntsville, Alabama, Nashville, Paducah, Louisville. All these areas are going to be producing showers and thunderstorms here. That typical summertime thunderstorms, non-severe. Some may bring heavy rains, may trigger some flash flooding. Alerts ponding on the roadways, so be very careful if you're coming along Interstate 40 there, or 65, or if you're coming along Highway 127 in Kentucky, or if you're heading up through 24 from Clarksville up into Paducah. Be very careful. There's some showers that will continue throughout much of the Thursday afternoon. These storms will advance eastward, producing a area of alerts later on today for the East Coast corridor. We'll get to that in just 1 second. Looking at the current hazards for today, this is valid for June 19, 2025. Out west, we have that, of course, red flag warning. It's been dry out there, so the whole state of Nevada, from Las Vegas up to Carson City, Ely, Reno, all included. Utah, you're included, from St. George up to Salt Lake City, Provo, and all areas eastward, Copper Mountain, into western Colorado, you're included, Grand Junction, and down into the Grand Canyon Rim Country here and the northern high deserts of Arizona, from Sedona, Flagstaff, and on eastward to the Verde Valleys there. Now, out east, we do have some heat advisories. This is going to include Boston, Quincy, Massachusetts, down toward Riviera, the coastline, back into Rhode Island, Providence, and into the northern tier of Massachusetts, as well as upstate New York, the Hudson River Valley. We're coming along Poughkeepsie, up to north, up to the West Point, up north of there into the Hudson Valley, and then the area of Delaware, from Wilmington, Philadelphia, the suburbs, Berks County, up into Trenton. Those areas are going to be experiencing heat advisories and orange for today, and that's going to extend through next week as this dome of high pressure is going to build in from the east and south, and it's going to produce temperatures in the 90s, heat indices in the 90s to 105 Fahrenheit. So just be mindful of that as well. Now, looking at the Storm Prediction Center, the SPC outlook for today, Thursday, June 19, 2025, well, focus is on that I-95 corridor, of course. So if you're coming along I-95, this is the trouble spot. We have an enhanced risk. That is a 3 out of 5 risk for seeing straight line winds and hail is what we're mainly concerned about. Some tornadoes could be possible, but they're going to be, it's only going to be a straight line winds and hail situation as this cold front advances very far. So this includes areas like Richmond, Petersburg, Fredericksburg, into the D.C. area, down south in southern Maryland, La Plata, Waldorf, Washington, D.C., places like Annapolis, over toward the eastern shore, and then back into Delaware, from places from Dover up to Wilmington, into Philadelphia, Trenton, Newark, northern suburbs of New Jersey, into southern New York, White Plains, areas like that, and New York City's even under the risk. Brooklyn, you could be included in some of those storms as well. So be on the lookout for that enhanced risk. Elsewhere, there's a slight risk, a 2 out of 5 risk, and that extends into the Piedmont of North Carolina, from Raleigh-Durham, Greensboro, back towards Mount Airy, and up into the Shenandoah Valley, and then over toward PA, Pennsylvania, Harrisburg, Scranton, Wilkes-Barre, and into New York and Vermont, and the Green Mountains of Vermont and White Mountains of New Hampshire. So that's what we have going on right here. Once again, that's for straight line winds and above 65 miles an hour, hail, 1 inch in diameter or greater, and a possible spin up to a rotation outside of the metro areas that could be possible. That's a low threat right now. But it's because of cold front advancing. Once this gets through, then we're going to be having high temperatures for the majority of the East Coast until next Wednesday. These high temperatures are going to last 90 to 100 degrees, feels like, from all the way up the I-95 corridor, from Jacksonville all the way up to Boston, and also interior corridors as well. Chicago, the Great Lakes area, you're going to be experiencing extreme heat as well, and that's reflected in the forecast for that area as well. So just something to keep in mind here. Please stay hydrated. Please stay cool. Wear light clothing here. As temperatures continue, they will continue to be high here. The temperatures are going to be high through next Wednesday, and humidity, and there's not going to be much wind with this. That's one thing I wanted to bring out too. There's not going to be much wind with this system. The cold front's come in. That's going to help the cooling breeze off the ocean. That's going to help cool these temperatures. That's going to be the key thing, and that's why heat indices is going to be so high. It's going to be that hot sinking air coming down, and that's going to be a pain for a lot of people in the Midwest, Northeast, Southeast, and even in the West. It's going to be hot in some of the areas, in the mountainous areas. So take care, stay cool. I'll see you on the next episode. Be sure to hit that subscribe button. And this is the Weather Guru signing off for June 19th, 2025.